I quit my corporate job at the age of 32 to start a business, and these are the most common questions people have asked me. So it has been 1 week since I released that video on quitting my job, which was filmed 1 year ago. So there has been some questions going around, and I even went on some podcasts. One of it is from Backholder Pod, and I'm going on a few other podcast episodes in the upcoming weeks. But before those videos are released, right, maybe I just want to answer some questions from the community first. And answering questions, sometimes it can be quite personal one. Was I fired or retrenched from my company? Now, I know that we are all in a very difficult environment, especially in the jobs market, because you see even big companies like Amazon, Alphabet, Microsoft firing tens and thousands of people all across the world, and people are laid off from the tech winter. But you see, I did not belong to the tech industry. I belong to the manufacturing industry. To be more specific, it's a semiconductor industry. So you see, my previous semiconductor company has not announced any retrenchments for now. But even if they did retrench me back then, I'll be more than willing to leave the job, because that means getting some retrenchment benefits like severance payments. So you see, the difference between resignation and retrenchment is that resignation, you quit on your own will, you will not get anything from the company. But if you were retrenched by the company by force, then they have to compensate you in some way lah. And usually the benchmark is every year you serve, you get 1 month of pay. So if you're asking whether I was fired or I quit myself, I quit myself. I submitted my own resignation letter, but I wish I was fired so I could get some retrenchment benefit. How did my partner react to me quitting my job to start a business in the YouTube and digital media space? I think she has been pretty chill, because she already know about my plan like 1 year ago. I've been telling her I'm going to do this, going to do that. I'm going to see the consistent cash flow first before I even think about leaving the job. Because you see, the thing about business and a full-time job is that the full-time job, the pay is consistent. You know that it will come every month. It does not even depend on whether the company is making money or not, because a loss-making company can still pay you salary. But you see, it's different in the own business, right? You have to make money. If you don't make money for yourself, how are you going to survive? So I think I had to prove myself to her that, okay, so this is my monthly cash flow, and this is my income. This is my level of expense, and I was doing pretty good for the past 1 year. I've showed results to her, and that was why she was not worried about it, or she was not angry about it. She told me to chase my dreams, and that's why I love her. How did your colleagues feel about you quitting your job and leaving the company? I think my ex-colleagues from the company was fairly supportive, because I have been announcing about this idea regarding YouTube ever since 2 years ago. It's just that I have not taken it full time. I've always been doing it on the side, and all of them knew about it. It's just that when I decided to take a further step to start this full time, they were fairly supportive about it. No one really tried to put me down like saying it's not gonna work, you're gonna fail, all that. Just keep your job, don't quit your job for doing such stupid things. No one ever said that. They were fairly supportive, and I'm grateful for that. And that was really because it was a positive work environment, and the managers were really good in that company. So I really appreciate every one of them. But if your company is really toxic and everyone is really negative, then I think even if you did not quit your job to start a business, you should start to look for another job in another environment, because all these are going to affect your mental health, and it's not going to be good for your physical health as well if your mental health is affected. And one of the few reasons that I could do this full time and quit my job and throw my resignation letter is because I have companies like Weibo sponsoring this video. The good news is that Weibo has significantly reduced their deposit requirements to just a mere 100 Singapore dollars for Feb 2023. But I think you should deposit much more than that, because one of the requirements is that you need to buy a US stock of minimum 100 US dollars, as well as buying one options contract, which you can follow through in this tutorial, where I show you how you can buy a SPY call option with close to 1 US dollars expense. Now, once you have fulfilled both of these requirements, you are entitled to 100 US dollars as long as you have not made any withdrawals for at least 30 days. To add on, if you want to stand a chance to win up to $1,888 worth of Apple fractional shares, then you have to subscribe to one mutual fund and hold it for at least 5 days via the Weibo app. And I'll show you how to navigate and do it, right? You could just follow this tutorial and this recording on how I did it. So you see, the maximum reward that you could receive for Weibo February is $1,988. So hurry up and use my referral link down below, or scan the QR code right here to sign up for your Weibo account today. How are you going to survive on just 50% of your income? Because I shared on another channel that this whole YouTube and digital side hustle is about 50% of my total income. So my full-time job took up half of it, my YouTube and digital hustle took up another half of it. Here's the thing, right? I have already saved up enough cash for big expenses like wedding, like housing, like renovation. All these already have cash set aside for in the high interest savings account or T-bills or SSB. Those are the things that I share on the channel as well, where to park your cash for high interest. And this high interest environment happens to be a very good place to park this kind of emergency cash savings as well as big ticket savings. Also, the matter of fact is that my lifestyle expenses, my daily expenses are not that high. So you are looking at like $1,000 for myself, maybe add another $500 for variable spending. That is not including family allowance. So you can see that I'm quite a frugal person and I could save more when I work from home because I don't have to take transportation to and fro work. I save on the commute, and at the same time I could go to hawker centers more often to have lunch, or if I want to eat healthier I could just home cook my meals as well. Now at the same time, it doesn't mean I will stagnate on the same level of income, because now that I have more time, I will expand into other sources of revenue generation, and that will include like different platforms. I'm trying to explore Instagram, TikTok, right? All these kind of different platforms. I'm going on to other people's show just to gain more exposure to the market. And you see, that could not have been possible if I didn't quit my job and have the time to do so. In fact, if you look at my new venture, I actually launched a digital product store where you can buy useful stuff like budget spreadsheets, finance spreadsheets, which I'm trying to build up on, as well as you can ask some question and tip me there if you really want. And through quitting my job and doing this full-time hustle, maybe I have found some new freedom, like time freedom and space freedom. What are my future plans? I think cross-platform content is something that I'm trying to embark on, try to post more Instagram stuff, working on short videos to post on TikTok, Facebook and Instagram Reels and all that stuff, and trying to generate more income sources like my digital product shop at Coffee, okay, and maybe like an advanced credit card mastery course, just to help people who really want to go deep into the credit card mastery, some things that I cannot share publicly. Yeah, so the point is I will not stay stagnant at just YouTube alone. I'm trying to explore into other platforms, trying to build this business better, trying to gain more monetization sources, and maybe that is a sustainable way for me to stay employed in this business. Now, if you are thinking, I want to be like you, I want to quit my job and start a business, then my first advice to you is don't quit your job. If you really hate your job, change your job. If you go and start a business, you will go and hate yourself. You see, I didn't quit my job and start this YouTube thing from ground zero. I've been doing this for 2 years. And this 2 years, in fact, in my first 9 months, I've been making zero income. So my first 9 months was practically working for free. And you know, there are many people who started around the same period as me. But you see, as we grow, then you realize that this channel starts to vanish. They stop posting. Maybe because they don't see the results at the end and they feel that their efforts are not worth it. So not everyone will really survive in this kind of hustle, especially business. That's why it's a high risk thing when they talk about business. And you must be prepared, because a lot of hours will be sacrificed. I would say it's a trade-off, because for many people, what do they do after they get home? Between the time of 8 p.m. to 10 p.m, just 2 hours of your time, what are you doing? While you were watching Netflix and chilling on your bed, I was out there hustling, doing my videos, editing, filming, scripting, everything that you were doing in that 2-3 hours of your after work hours. I was busy doing my hustle. So unless you already have something going on and it's giving you consistent cash flows, I would not suggest you to quit your job and do everything from ground zero, because you have to make sure that you have the safety net first, and not only the financial safety net, but also the job security safety net, that this is sustainable enough. So that's all the questions I will answer for now. If you have other questions, just comment down below or join the Honey Money Telegram group. So if this is the first time you're watching this video and you don't know why I quit my job, then I'll refer you to my very popular Why I Quit My Job video right here.